Take out your history books, please. Turn to page 48.
The New Works Initiative is a 7-year initiative which concentrates on new music. This season, we are doing our second world premiere, which is Doubt, which is a Pulitzer Prize-winning play by John Patrick Shanley, is the centerpiece of the Minnesota Opera's 50th anniversary.
Short, long.
How about ha, 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 ha? This is going to make or break the show.
My name is John Patrick Shanley. I'm probably best known as a playwright and a screenwriter, and I work a lot out of New York. I'm from the Bronx originally, and I made a bit of a splash with this play Doubt in New York, which has turned out to have more lives than a cat. So it began as a play in an off-Broadway theater and then moved to Broadway, and then we made a film out of it that I directed with Meryl Streep and Philip Seymour Hoffman. And now we're here at the Minnesota Opera collaborating on turning it into an opera.
Impeccable, legible, incorrigible boy. Return to class. Go. Oh, woe is me.
When he says, oh, woe is me in the new location, we don't need the D natural there anymore. Because we can. Exactly? So it's going to be after go.
Doug Cuomo, who I've known for several years, he is doing all sorts of work. You know, he's written music for television shows. He wrote the theme to Sex and the City. He's written music for theater works, for movies. This is his second opera.
There's a few things about Doubt that were immediately attractive to me in terms of making it into an opera. John's language, just on the printed page in the play, is so unbelievably musical. The idea of putting together the words and the characters and the moral questions and the music in a certain way, there's a lot of that kind of psychological playing around with the orchestration.
Franklin D. Roosevelt, wonderful president. 13 million men were unemployed. They lost hope. President Roosevelt said, "You have nothing to fear but fear itself."
It's an incredible experience being a part of the workshops. It's really as if time stands still, being in the presence of some phenomenal artists who are shaping what feels like could be a really important work right before you, and not only right before you, but even with you, even asking, oh, can you try this so we can hear that? And you trying different colors and different expression and different angles or aspects to the character that might either confirm what they want to hear, maybe make them feel that it needs to be something else, or even maybe give them a new idea. It's spectacular.
Take out your history books, please. Turn to page 48. 46, 47, 48.
It's an interesting thing to watch because the words of Doubt are so beautifully written, and they're quote-unquote operatic. I mean, the singers have arias, they have monologues in this case, they talk in duet, and John Patrick has a very musical ear. He listens to a sentence, he listens to how the sentence ebbs and flows, the high point of the sentence and the low point of the sentence, and it perfectly translates to music.
Do you honestly find the students in this school to be treated like inmates? No, actually they seem fairly happy.
Originally, Douglas Cuomo came to me and said that he'd been talking to the Minnesota Opera and basically to himself in the mirror and saying, what should we do? And he came up with doubt as a subject that he was very drawn to. And I was interested in doing it simply because I've never done an opera.
Settle down. And now the foul shot. Donald, take the ball.
The foul shot is hard. The foul shot is hard.
Foul shots are psychological. The rest of the game you're competing against the other team.
I've certainly enjoyed this collaboration very much and the whole process of it. The topic and the subject matter, it's so, so nuanced and so interesting. There's so much stuff going on. So it was important to have the music not tip the hand entirely. The scene with Mrs. Miller, the mother, when she comes in and talks with Sister Aloysius, that's, I think one of the best scenes in, in American theater in, I don't know, decades.
The thing that I originally was drawn to was the title, Doubt. I came up with the title first. I had nothing else. And then I thought, oh, I'll make it about these nuns that I had when I was a kid. And then I thought, well, that's not enough for a play. That's just a slice of life. And then I thought of a priest who was suspected of wrongdoing. And I thought, well, that's the beginning of something, but it still needs another turn to it before I would even begin work. And then I thought of a mother of a child who was suspected of being molested. And what if that mother was coming from a direction that no one would predict?
His father don't like him. He comes to your school, and the kids don't like him. One man is good to him, one man is good to him. This priest.
The reason for the theme of doubt is that's how I live. Everything to me is on the table. I'm always in deliberation. The jury is always out, and it never comes back with a verdict, because life isn't like that. Life continues to unfold, and what we think we understand, we subsequently realize that we do not, that there's more contemplation that any subject in our lives truly deserves. And that you should always leave room for other people to have a point of view. And that room might be called doubt.
Well, Minnesota Opera is really known for doing new works. It's in our DNA. When it was started 50 years ago, it was started as a new works company, part of the Walker Art Museum. It was originally called Center Opera, a company that didn't do La Boheme and Carmen, but really did Dominick Argento's work. So it's 50 years later, we're still doing it.
Look at that. Look at that. Why, it's beautiful.
I think that it's very important for not only the Minnesota Opera, but every opera company to do works of our time. And that's where this piece is. It sort of tells a story of today.
In working with the Minnesota Opera, I see that there's a real passion here for both new work and good work. And there's a vibrant invitation that has been sent out to artists from around the country to come here, create new things for people who live here to experience, and that there is really an audience for it here. And that's always an exciting prospect.
What have you seen?
it's unsettling to know you keep sleep suspicion.
What have you seen?
Minnesota Original is made possible by the State Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.